Okay, so I've been thinking about this, and it's honestly keeping me up because the more I look at Willow Kane right now, the more I feel like I'm watching a car crash in slow motion, except the car is on fire and the driver is hallucinating. Wait, let me back up. I was watching the February 23 episode, I think it was the 23rd? Yeah, it had to be. Because that's when Wiley dropped the bomb about Hawaii, and the look on Willow's face, did you see that? It wasn't just, oh, I'm going to miss my kids. It was pure, unadulterated panic. Like the kind of panic where your brain stops working logically and starts making really, really bad decisions. Actually, no, wait. Her brain stopped working logically a long time ago. I mean, look at what she's doing to Drew. But we'll get to Drew in a second because that is a whole other rabbit hole of insanity that I haven't even fully processed yet. So, here's what's bugging me. Michael is talking about taking Wiley and Amelia to Hawaii for the summer. On paper, that sounds nice, right? Dad taking the kids on a trip? Whatever. But for Willow, this isn't a vacation. It's a threat. It's basically Michael saying, I have the kids, I have the power, and you're on the outside looking in. And Willow, who, let's remember, just got acquitted for shooting Drew, which, by the way, I still can't believe she walked away from that. But that's the legal system in Port Charles for you. She is terrifyingly fragile right now. I mean, not fragile like, oh, poor Willow, but fragile like a bomb with a loose wire. She's trapped. She's completely trapped herself. And when people like Willow get trapped, they don't just sit there. They lash out. Or they run. And that's the thing I can't stop thinking about. The running. See, the spoilers are hinting that she might try to escape with the kids, and at first I was like, no way. That's too extreme even for her current era of madness. But then I started analyzing her options and, wait, does she even have options? Let's look at the board here. She's got Drew Kane locked in a room, figuratively and literally, sort of doping him up to make it look like he had a stroke or is locked in or whatever medical miracle nightmare she's concocted. As long as he's drugged, he can't talk. If he can't talk, he can't tell anyone that Willow is the one who put him there. But here's the problem with that plan, and I feel like I'm the only one screaming this at the TV drugs run out. Or people build tolerances. Or a nurse notices something? Like, how long does she think she can keep a grown man in a chemically induced vegetative state before someone like, I don't know, a doctor, or Dante, or just random chance exposes it? It's unsustainable. And deep down, I think Willow knows it's unsustainable. That's why the Hawaii thing triggered her so bad. She's operating on borrowed time. She knows that eventually Drew's gonna wake up or recover enough to blink out a message in Morse code or something, and then she's done. She's not just looking at losing custody, she's looking at Pentonville. Serious time. Kidnapping, holding someone hostage, drugging them. That's way worse than the shooting she got acquitted for. So if you're Willow and you know the clock is ticking and suddenly Michael says, hey, I'm taking the kids to an island in the Pacific for the summer, what do? You panic. Because if the Drew scheme implodes while the kids are in Hawaii, she might never see them again. Michael will have them halfway across the world, the cops will be at her door, and it's game over. Wait, did I mention the key thing? The frame-up? Because that's another layer of this mess that makes me think she's going to run. Okay, so she tried to plant the key to Drew's house to frame Michael right. Classic soap move. If Michael is in jail, I get the kids. Simple. Evil but simple. But she messed it up. Or, well, she didn't account for the variables. Now, Harrison Chase is under suspicion for evidence tampering. I feel so bad for Chase, honestly. He's always getting dragged into these people's messes. But the point is, because the evidence is compromised, Dante doesn't think the case against Michael can move forward. So, her Plan A jail, Michael is dead. It's dead in the water. Actually, it's worse than dead. Because now she's potentially got heat on her for the frame-up if anyone looks too closely at why the evidence was tampered with, so Plan A is gone. Plan B is... what? Keeping Drew drugged forever? That's not a plan, that's a stalling tactic. Which brings me back to the running. The escape option. If I'm Willow, and God forbid I ever inhabit that headspace because it seems exhausting and I see the walls closing in, I'm thinking I need to take Wiley and Amelia and disappear. But how? I mean, really how? You can't just hop on a plane with 2 kids without the other parent knowing. Especially when that other parent is a Corinthos. Michael has resources. He has jets. He has security. But Willow, she's desperate. Desperation makes people creative, but it also makes them sloppy. I keep imagining this scenario where she tries to gaslight the kids, like telling Wiley, "Oh, Daddy's trip to Hawaii is canceled, but guess what? Mommy has a surprise trip. We're going to, I don't know, Brazil, the Maldives, somewhere non-extradition." Can you imagine her trying to sell that to Wiley? He's smart. He's going to ask questions. Why isn't Daddy coming? And Willow will have to lie. Again. And that's the tragedy of it, isn't it? I know she's the villain right now. She's doing terrible things. But I keep remembering who she used to be. The school teacher, the moral compass. It's weird. Like, really weird how far she's fallen. But is it a fall? Or was this always there? I mean, she was raised by a cult leader. Maybe the good Willow was the mask, and this survivalist do anything to survive Willow is the real version. No, that's too cynical. I think she just broke. She snapped. The fear of losing her kids broke her brain. But back to the logistics, because I overthink the logistics constantly. Suppose she manages to get passports. Suppose she gets the kids to the airport. Then what? She leaves Drew behind. If she leaves Drew behind, the drugs stop. If the drugs stop, Drew wakes up. If Drew wakes up, he tells everyone what happened. So she becomes a fugitive immediately. So, she has to know that the moment she gets on that plane, she can never come back. It's a one-way trip. Is she ready for that? Living on the run with 2 small children. And what about Drew? This is the part that makes me feel sick. If she flees, does she just leave him there to rot? Or does she do something permanent to ensure he can't talk? I don't want to think she's capable of that. I mean, drugging him is one thing. It's monstrous, but in her twisted logic, she's pausing him. Killing him, that's a line I don't think she can cross. But then again, I didn't think she'd shoot him either, so what do I know? Actually, wait. Maybe she doesn't leave him. Maybe she tries to move him. No, that's impossible. You can't smuggle a stroke victim and 2 kids out of the country without raising massive red flags. So Drew stays, which means the clock starts ticking the second she leaves Port Charles. It's just, the anxiety of this storyline is intense. Every time I see her mixing those doses, I'm waiting for her hand to shake. Or for someone to walk in. And let's talk about the Hawaii trip again for a second. Why Hawaii? Is there a reason it's Hawaii? Probably just because it's far. But for Willow, it represents the ultimate loss of control. Michael taking them across an ocean. It's symbolic. It's him saying, I can take them where you can't follow. So, okay, let's play this out. Willow decides to run. She tells the kids they're going on a special trip. She packs bags in secret. She probably steals money. Does she have access to money? She must have some stash. Maybe she dips into the Quartermain funds, or maybe she has something hidden away. She grabs Wiley and Amelia. Where does she go? It has to be somewhere with no extradition. Right, but would she even think that far ahead, or is this going to be a panic move where she drives them to Canada? I feel like the show always uses Canada as the escape route. It's close to New York. But Michael would find her in Canada in like 5 minutes. No, if she's serious, she has to go international. And that takes planning. But she's running out of time because summer is coming. Michael's trip is this summer. It's February now. She has a few months. But the Chase Dante thing is happening now. The investigation is stalling, which sounds good for her, but it actually leaves her in limbo. And the Drew situation is a daily risk. I wonder if she'll try to sabotage the Hawaii trip first, like before she goes to the nuclear option of kidnapping. Maybe she tries to make Wiley sick. No, that's Munchausen territory, that's too dark. Or maybe she tries to sabotage Michael's business so he can't leave. But the spoilers say she feels backed into a corner, and that fleeing is the only way out. That suggests the other plans fail. The sabotage fails. The legal maneuvering fails. All that's left is run. It's terrifying because Willow isn't a criminal mastermind. She thinks she is right now. She thinks she's playing 4D chess with Drew and Michael. But she's not. She's just a scared mom with access to sedatives and a lot of luck. And luck runs out. I keep thinking about the moment Wiley realizes something is wrong. He's old enough to pick up on vibes. If his mom is sweating, looking over her shoulder, lying to him about where they're going, that kid is going to be traumatized. And Amelia is so little. It's just, ugh. And what about Michael? He's so focused on the legal battle and the custody stuff, I don't think he realizes how dangerous Willow has become. He thinks she's just vindictive. He doesn't know she's holding his uncle hostage in a fake medical coma. If he knew that, he wouldn't be planning a trip to Hawaii, he'd be barricading the house. It's the disconnect between what Michael thinks he's dealing with a bitter ex-wife and what he's actually dealing with a desperate woman. Committing felonies daily, that makes this so stressful to watch. He's poking a bear, but he thinks he's just swatting a fly. Wait, did I get sidetracked? I was talking about the escape plan. Okay, so assume she tries to run. The logistics of the airport. The passports. Does Michael keep the kids' passports? Usually in these custody wars, the passports are locked up. So she might have to forge them. Does she know a guy? Does Willow Kane know a guy who forges passports? Probably not. So maybe she tries to steal them from Michael's safe. That could be a scene. Her breaking into the Quartermain mansion or Michael's place to find the passports. That would be tense. And then if she gets them, the airport scene. You know there's going to be an airport scene. Her looking at the departures board. Wiley asking, "Are we there yet?" Her checking her phone to see if anyone has found Drew yet. Actually, imagine if Drew wakes up while she's at the airport. Imagine the scene cuts between Willow waiting to board a plane to, I don't know, Rio and Drew's eyes fluttering open back in that room. He manages to knock a glass over. Someone hears. They find him. He croaks out Willow. Then the cops rush to the airport. Dante gets the call. "Stop that plane!" It's so cliche, but I would watch the heck out of it. But here's the thing that really gets me. What is her endgame? Say she gets away. Say she makes it to a tropical island with the kids. Then what? She lives in hiding forever. Looking over her shoulder every day, telling the kids lies about why they can't call daddy. That's not a life. That's a prison of a different kind.